560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the three-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
Light me up like a Christmas tree. Happy Friday's Eve to everybody, or Thirsty Thursday for all of the younger folks in Gabe's age group. Because you know what? I've just realized I'm an old, crusty man. But you know what? I love all of you, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun today. We have Dan Favale at 2 o'clock. Sports 56 Happy Hour is about to get crazy. You got your buddy Johnny Radio, who's going to break things down. And then I'm very blessed that I always have Gabe Kuhn. Again, he might be just 25 years old. He might actually have a wisdom of a 55-year-old because, damn it, he's smarter than me. He's got more wisdom than me, and he actually talks about things. So if you have Memphis questions, if you have things that are going on with COVID-19, I've talked with Gabe Kuhn's also not just a journalist. His brother's not just a journalist. He's a former football player, but he's also a coach, and he coaches young men. And the things that are changing, like literally in the last 48 hours, with how we are coaching our young people. Talked with the new coach out at Fayette Ware. I talked with my friend over at Houston, Gabe Kuhn. You know, I don't even know if I should say this. Do people know where you work?
Not yet.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah, well, you can drop it if you want.
Is it
No
okay?
big deal. Yeah,
like
go ahead.
Germantown, high school,
sure.
baby, you know? My buddy Terrence Patterson, Corey Peterson. I got Hunter Meyer. You know how many people that went to that school?
Working with my buddy Gene Robinson over there at Germantown.
Gene, and by the way,
hopefully working. We don't know what's we're still at the mercy of the Shelby County Health Department at this moment. So we're gonna have to see what happens.
And by the way, that's Gabe. Can I ask you something? This is why I always say that Gabe Kuhn might be 25 years old, but at 25 years old, I never had his wisdom. I never was as close to being as smart and grounded as he is, but he is talking about literally Shelby County. He's talking about what's going on, and that's what I'm hearing from coaches is how is it that we're going to protect these children? How is it that we're going to have school and sports and move normally? And now I'm going to tell you right now, it was 2 weeks ago. It was literally 2 weeks ago. Me and Gabe Kuhn were fighting MLB. I was there. Ticked off at MLB. It was about, a few days later that I wanted to slap Kyrie Irving upside the head for messing things up for what I thought the NBA, and we have finally had this fix. And I am sitting there screaming that the world is dying, not just the United States. The world is dying for the best sports in the world. And yes, you can sit there and say it's a United States thing. No, that's wrong. Everybody watches our sports. It's the best. It's the best of the best. And now, have y'all seen the new COVID-19 helmets? Have you heard Dr. Have you seen them?
They're hilarious, dude. Oh my God, they look like they stole them off the Clone Troopers.
I thought it
from
looked
Star
like,
Wars.
Do you know what Mad Max is?
Yes,
Have
that's sort of the dystopian, like where they're all riding around the big old.
There's
trucks.
a helmet with a spike, and a dude has the exact same thing in the front where he talks through. It looks just like the Mad Max guy.
I will have to say, those would be a disaster.
Yes.
Because they would fog up after, 3 plays? Maybe.
You'd be like, can't see anything. You're like living in you're like, hey, I'm on Mars. I'm on the moon. I can't see anybody. How am I supposed to block and run? What is it? Oh, Spider Y, Z banana.
Spider Y2 banana or whatever.
What John Gruden liked to say.
I am about to retweet these on the Sports 56 WHBQ at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter. I'm about to retweet these helmets. I want a response on 67129.
And I want you to please hit up my buddy Gabe at G_Coon71. I want you to hit us up at Sports 56. It's very, very simple. And I want to remind you that not only are we on the AM 560, 2 FM channels, 87.7. But remember, AM 560, first on your dial. 87.7 FM, first on your dial. Both of them, first on your dial. we're first in your heart. But don't forget, for those people down in Tunica or anywhere else around, 96.1 FM is pretty dope. Check it out. But we're also now on we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Periscope, and we're on Instagram. Quick sidebar. Are you ready for this quick sidebar? I'm so glad we're not on Twitch anymore. Do you know I learned more about Twitch yesterday than I've ever learned in my entire life?
What'd you learn about it, though?
I thought I was going to have a conversation with a friend of mine and a professional baseball player who I talked to yesterday. Do you realize how many professional athletes are on Twitch? Do you realize this is what's messing me up? How many professional athletes, when I was growing up, they wanted to be movie stars or rock stars. And now, instead of wanting to be movie stars or rock stars, they want to be Twitch stars. Like, my brother's friend is professionally ranked and gets paid to be a
Absolutely, yeah.
video gamer. Like, he does it for a living.
A gamer.
He's a gamer is what that's what he said.
What does he play? Do you know?
Dude, you know how much trouble
Let's see, we
I
got
struggled
Fortnite, we have
yesterday. He does
Overwatch,
Fortnite,
we have
yes.
Call of Duty,
No, he
we
does Call of
have
Duty. He has a whole team
2K.
set up. He has a bunch of no, he doesn't do sports.
They
games.
call them clans.
No,
it's a clan.
What does
they
he
have
call
set
it?
up.
They are action shooting games is what he.
Okay, he
he's a
specializes
Fortnite
there.
guy.
And remember when
when
Blake Snell was yelling at Rob Manfred and saying that
people think we're crazy? By the way,
when Blake Snell was talking about how he thought that taking less money for a health risk was not smart. He did that on Twitch.
Oh, I did not know that.
That announcement
was
via Twitch. Yeah.
Dude, do you know that yesterday I spent more time on Twitch? Well, I watched. You know that I didn't play any games, right? But
I'll get you hip one of these days, man.
Well, I think I got kind of hip and learned something. I didn't realize the headsets they wear. I didn't realize that the
I have one,
screens
Turtle
come
Beach.
in and you can attach yourself to so many people.
It's just
You're so
funny to
horrible.
see. It's funny to see how like
I'm dumb. aren't I?
clueless about it you
I
are
am so
almost,
clueless.
and that's not a bad thing, obviously. But it's
Dude,
like
you know I had an
my
Atari,
generation. It's
homie.
like I literally, if you saw me game, you'd be so lost, man.
I wouldn't even know what you're doing.
I sit right in front of the thing. I play Call of Duty. I put my headset on. You would lose your mind.
I
Wouldn't you?
lost my mind
Talking to
last
my
night.
buddies. I have like a buddies. Like we have a team of 4 that we go
Oh my
play
God. See,
against other
this is
people
where,
with.
okay, see, there's a very good pitcher in this country who is making a league minimum. He is a part of my brother's team. Do you know what I mean? They're like a ranked team. Do you know what I mean by that at all? Like, you know what I'm talking about. I
Yeah, I
didn't
do.
understand it. But so there's my brother, what you call a pro gamer, another pitcher from Mississippi State, and then a pitcher for pro baseball, we'll just say. They are a team, and they play every night, and they play all damn night, like all night long. And I just don't
I see the all night thing. Like I know I have a lot of buddies who like really are into it to the point where they do stream it. I don't stream or anything like that on
they
Twitch.
stream
but
it. They put it out there. People,
I play.
my homie makes money for people watching him play.
Absolutely. It's like per every 1,000
It's
viewers or
insane.
whatever.
He had 27,000 viewers watching him when I was over there yesterday. I wanted to throw up. I'm like 27,000 viewers.
Hey,
watching you play a video game.
That
I'm gonna
would be a
puke.
really fun, easy income stream, though.
Sure as hell is, isn't it? But anyway, I bring all this up to try to explain to y'all is that today I want to talk to you about what's going on with COVID-19. I want to talk to you about what's going on with America. I want to be very, very easy. And what I want to do is explain to y'all is I am as lost as most of you are. But I'm blessed to have my good friend Gabe Kuhn, who knows what's going down. He's my partner in crime, and he can help explain this to you. But I want to walk through some of these things. I'm going to also walk through all the NBA. Dan Favale at 2 o'clock is going to be so crucial that it's going to help us figure out what's going on. And then later on, Hardwood, I promise you I'm going to make you laugh, just like I did with Mark Grace not wanting to take steroids because, hey, it makes everything else big, but one thing little. And that's the one thing he didn't want to make little, if you know what I'm saying. And I think the best part of that, he said, he's like, hey, I'm like a 6-foot white dude. He's like, I couldn't make it any littler. You know what I mean? Hey. And we're talking about his biceps, right? Yeah, his biceps. But anyway, y'all know what we're talking about. And I'm serious as a heart attack. It is fun to watch generational players, generational opinions, and then to see where we are today. So we're going to have this open all day. If you want to hit me, 901-360-8255, I'll rap. If you want to text, 67129, easy as can be. If you want to tweet, Johnny_radio, you just can't follow me because Twitter is a loser. And I can't wait for them to become the MySpace of what Facebook was, because if Twitter doesn't get taken down, I hate Twitter. Twitter is the biggest piece of S I have ever been on in my entire life. FYI. Sorry, people on Twitter. But anyway, that's just a fact, by the way. Now, and it really is a fact, MySpace had more clout than Twitter did. And by the way, Facebook took them over. When is
Did
somebody
you have
gonna take over
MySpace?
Twitter?
Did you have MySpace?
Hell no.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have a Twitter, a Facebook, or nothing until I came here. They made me actually, no, Pam Dennehy, your teacher probably, my teacher.
Okay.
She's still working over in Memphis. She made me get my Twitter
It
account.
is smart.
She was the first person to follow me, too.
It was smart of her to force you to do that.
No, she was very smart. But you know what? They knocked 2,400 of my followers off. Just kicked them all off. You know why? Because they said I was racist. Do I sound racist to you?
No, you don't.
God forbid. But again, we live in a different world. So, and that's the other thing. If I'm a racist, we are all in trouble. I can promise you that. But we are going to talk about fun. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about football. We have a lot of baseball stuff to get to. We have major football news. College football news has got me scared to death. Again, Dan Favali's coming on at 2 o'clock to get the NBA straightened out. Hardwood is going to be hilarious, but nobody puts it better in the box or gets things started better than Gabe Kuhn. Son, I'm in the box. Give me a pitch. It's the leadoff.
All right, I want to start with a couple MLB questions, and then I'll get to the serious stuff of today. There's been some very interesting developments about COVID-19
You ain't
and
lying.
football. Now, I want to start here. The MLB resumption plan, they're still arguing about it, even though they said name a time and place. I don't want to get into that. I just want to talk about the universal DH that they want to have involved in 2020 and 2021. What are your thoughts about it going forward?
Okay, very simple. I said to you a long time ago that 2020, if baseball was smart, they should say simply, what's good for the game? I already told you this. Brett Norsworthy had a really, I thought, yesterday on Sports Time. His, bringing him almost Bob Costas, a guy who I don't really care about, but a guy who actually cares about the game, because the owners and the players only think about money right now. They have forgotten fans, and they have forgotten about what baseball really is about. And it's a child's game that we're lucky enough to play. Like, they are lucky enough to play it pro, and then people like me are lucky enough to follow it forever and be a part of it. So we love it. But I will tell you this, and as I've told you this 1,000 times, maybe not you, but my listeners, universal DH is not leaving after this year. Madison Bumgarner, certain guys who pitch.
Shohei
Shohei, dude. Okay, now see, this is where I hate bringing this up. He doesn't even count. I don't consider Shohei Ohtani a pitcher. I consider Shohei Ohtani a pure superstar, a guy who is so talented that he can pitch in the pros like Babe Ruth did, he can hit in the pros like Babe Ruth did, and he can play in the field like Babe Ruth did. But can I ask you a question? Between Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani, how many have we had?
I think you just named him.
Yep, and that's what I'm trying to say. He is a special player. But Madison Bumgarner, one of the best pitchers, and we know about the World Series rings. Can he hit home runs? Hell yeah, he can. But can I ask you something? How many times have we seen a great pitcher take a finger, like they try to put a bunt down just to move the runners, and then they break their finger on their pitching hand, and they're done for the year? There was a Cy Young pitcher, last decade? I can't remember who it was off the hand. He was going to win this Cy Young. He gets hit by a baseball, and he's done the rest of the year. Why is it that the American League, and I know these National League players are like, hey, if they can pitch, I want to see it. Oh, it makes the managers use their brains so much more. Because let me tell you something. It takes so much damn brain power for a double switch. That's what makes me laugh about these guys who call themselves baseball purists. If you're a baseball purist, anybody who knows their head from their keister knows how to do a double switch. Anybody who knows their head from their you-know-what understands how to manage a baseball game, damn it. And we don't need to give the National League some kind of like flag, like, oh my God, they're so much smarter than the American League because they know how to use their pitchers and they know how to let their pitchers hit. And oh my God, their managers are so much smarter because of the double switch. Can I tell you what that is? Ignorance on a global scale. It's like saying half the world only knows what 2 + 2 is. Because the American League doesn't know what 2 + 2 is. Only the damn National League. They're the only ones that know it's 4. The American League is so screwed because of the DH. This is stupid, man. It's an extra job. Think about Paul Molitor, and I'm going to ask you just one more time. If you're a pitcher, why should you get a break to face another guy who can't hit you to save his damn life?
I think the biggest thing is it adds a job. And lets these guys not have to play the field in the National League. And that's as simple as it's put. And you don't have to watch horrible hitting out of that 9 spot anymore. Like,
No.
Seriously, it helps the game. I don't see why they haven't done it until now. Now, the MLB attendance has been steadily declining the last few years.
You could say that.
Very obviously. It peaked in 2004 at 79.5 million over the year. It's been gradually slipping all the way down to 68.5 last season, which was the lowest since 2003, which was 67.3 million. Now, in 94, before the strike, it was 31,256 fans per game. And then 1995, it was 25,000 in 21. So that is a ridiculous sort of decrease in fandom per game. It wasn't until 2006 that the attendance recovered from the 94 labor strike. What do you think post-COVID-19, post-labor negotiation looks like for the MLB in regards to attendance?
It depends, and Gabe, I'm going to piss you off with this answer. It depends on if you have educated, logical people running Major League Baseball or if you have ignorance. I brought it up 2 years ago. I don't know if you realize this. Did you know Major League Baseball, not 2 years ago, I'm sorry. What was it, 2013, I believe, that Major League Baseball, because of the small market money that was coming in, because of the large market money that was coming in, owners actually had broke even before they sold one ticket. One ticket. So every ticket sold and every dollar spent on a hot dog or anything that happened on your ballpark was nothing but revenue. I want you to think about that. That is a new thing. And then I want to also remind you of this. We got attendance, like you said, that fell, and now it's going back up. And this is something simple I want to ask you, Gabe. Very, very, very simple. St. Louis, you love them, right?
Sure do.
They don't play this season. They give you whatever, or if they play that 60-game season, they do it half keister. You don't get the product that you're expecting. Next year, how do you feel about them?
Not so great.
Do you feel like that you and your girlfriend are going to go spend a bunch of money and call your friends and head up to St. Louis to go do that road trip like you always do? Or
not near as much.
Not me neither. See, like our fantasy baseball league, for what, how old am I? For 26 years, I've gone to a baseball game with the same brothers every single year. We would leave every year, go to Cubs, Braves, whatever. I mean, those are the two games. Those are the two ones that are close to us. We'd always feel like, and we went to Marlins one year. Anyway, point is, we would go do that, and it would be like a plan. Can I tell you right now, with the way baseball is making all of us, and I'm talking about baseball fans, feel, why the hell do I want to go spend my money on a bunch of guys who don't give a damn about me? Because they're not talking about what's best for the game. My favorite game in the world, I'm watching billionaires and millionaires fight, and never have I heard them say anything about the fan. And that has become the most gut-wrenching, that's broken my heart.
I can agree with that. I am totally with you. I
Imagine,
think
by
there's
the
going
way,
to be a
last
lot.
thing, imagine being a kid, Gabe. Imagine being a child.
I agree. And the thing that I see is like those weekend trips that a lot of people make to those big ballparks in Atlanta and St. Louis from small towns. They're not going to want to make that trip because the MLB hasn't fed their ego and given them what they wanted to this point. And I just don't see it being as easy to recover as it was last time. And we know why it recovered last time, because in the 98 season, we had a home run race.
Oh,
That's
and last but
thing.
not least, I just wanted to tell you this. Out of all the years, $218,978,142 was the largest. That was actually by the Boston Red Sox. They beat the Yankees by $78,000.
Now,
as the most money ever made in a ballpark. I want you to think what I just said. $217 million. Do you see a contract by TV that's smaller than that? Because I don't see one television contract. I mean, hell, even the Royals TV contract is $400 million.
pays for your season right there.
Yep.
Now, NFL COVID-19 stuff, man. I didn't think we'd be here at this point, but I'm starting to be a lot more nervous, and I know you are as well. Now, Anthony Fauci came out today.
Won't work.
And he said that because of the second wave that possibly could come of coronavirus, it would be horrible for the NFL. He said that the NFL needs to try and create a bubble environment for the 2020-21 season. We will talk later. Dr. Alan Sills, the NFL's chief medical officer, did respond to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I have a hard time believing that a bubble environment can be created for football. Do you think that a bubble environment can be created that is actually suffice?
Gabe, hell no. I'm not an ignorant idiot. I don't walk on my hands. I'm not living on planet Nubu, and I don't think that the world is flat. So there is no way in hell that I think this is possible. A bubble for pro football? What are you going to do? They already got domes. Now you're going to build a bubble. What are you going to do?
Just a reminder, there's 55 on an active roster.
32 teams with 55 on that. That's not even including their coaches.
Or
their
practice
support
squad.
staff. Or the again. And you're going to put them in what? Like, dude, that's a whole damn state, homie. What are you going to quarantine off of? Like, hey, let's just do me a favor. Put everybody in Rhode Island. Have everybody in Rhode Island move out. We're going to build a big bubble.
Or 53.
NFL.
Why did I say 55?
No, 50. Well, no.
Same thing.
Because you know why you said 55? They're expanding it, remember?
That's what it is, yep. With the new labor negotiations.
No offense, the new labor negotiations trying to expand to 55. That's why I'm not just saying your mind's not
I'm
wrong.
on it. I didn't even know.
Yeah, you didn't even know, baby. I love you. But this is one of those things that makes absolutely no sense. And then you've seen the COVID-19 helmet, correct? That scares the hell out of me. You saw me yesterday talk to you about this article. How many people of y'all realize that I wasn't reading an article from David Cobb or Peter Edmiston? I was reading an op-ed from a Johns Hopkins doctor that was posted all over the world, like in the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, and New York Post, New York Times, whatever. It was USA Today picked it up. This was posted everywhere, and it was a op-ed by a literal doctor who's, what is he? A virologist. And what he said is there is no way to protect, first and foremost, he said linemen. It is impossible to have people standing next to each other on play after play, hitting, sweating, spitting on each other. Running backs. Like, it basically says football is not conducive for basically a pandemic. So do I believe that we are in deep trouble? Yeah, Gabe, we're in trouble like people don't even realize. And last but not least, we're going to get this on the other side. But the NFL, and we said this, they had already put they built 3 places to do nothing but testing. Think about that. They got everything ready, and guess what? Now you have people like Kansas State, the University of Texas. Amen. The University of Memphis has 0 people, but there's 13 players at Texas. There's 8 players at Kansas State. We can't use our kids as guinea pigs And so if you just want to look at the National Football League, it is scary. But you know what's scarier for me is Ohio State having people sign this legal document, Kansas State, Texas, all these places where kids are popping up with COVID-19 and it's going to spread like wildfire. And again, Gordon Gee said he was looking at the riots. Since the riots, they say there's been an 80% increase in COVID-19. Did you see that this morning, Gabe?
I did not see that exact thing.
It said there's been United States population, not in one place, but it said that 80% has increased in the last week, just the last week.
Also, in the state of Florida, overnight, they added 3,207 cases.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm trying to be an honest person who loves y'all and just wants to spit the straight truth to you. I want college football. I want college basketball. I want NBA. I want the NFL. But I'm telling you right now, if you're opening up your damn eyes and if you really look at the situation from the University of North Carolina talking about how they're going to open up their days of school next week so they can get out before Thanksgiving because of COVID-19, they're also trying to do that so they can get their players off campus so when football season starts, they only have their football players on campus. That is also setting a very bad precedent, people. I got to go take a break because I'm so damn late and I don't want to be a fearmonger. I'm just trying to point out the facts. And if you open up your eyes, if you listen to Dr. Fauci, if you look at the NFL and their new helmets, if you hear what college programs are saying, you got parents, you got administrators, and you got people who are right now saying to themselves, oh, bleep. I wish I could say it on the air, but you know what they saying. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 96.1, and we about to get down on 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Hey, it's me, your cousin, from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams, from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your goldfish to sing Bizet's Carmen? There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
So, have you noticed how everyone's grammar is completely awful now? Like, you know, the texting and the LOLs. Whatever happened to punctuation? I mean, drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off, too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Get over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
West where the winds blow tall. Man, what's up, JB? You know it's a Thirsty Thursday, don't you? You know we're almost here to Friday. I'm going to tell you a little secret, y'all. I have been so excited and disappointed for many months during 2020. And I want to remind you that during Sports 56 Happy Hour, we try to bring you joy, happiness. We just try to tell you the truth. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your keister. I'm just trying to tell you what I fear, what I believe, and what I think is going down. And again, I have been telling y'all how disappointed I have been all year long in baseball. Like, if baseball had a brain, July 4th, we'd not be watching Nathan's hot dog eating contest. What's his name?
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, I wouldn't be caring about Joey Chestnut pounding a bunch of hot dogs because you know what? We'd have baseball. But baseball has done a very bad job of basically giving love to the American people and their fans. They've cared more about, the owners have cared more about dissension and dividing, I think, the Players Association for the 2020 collective bargaining agreement. And then I think players have cared more about 100%, just getting 100% of their prorated salary and actually sticking into the owners. And all the way through, they have forgotten about the king of what this thing is. It's a game. What's best for the game is what's best for everybody, and that's why you make so much money. If you didn't have the Dominican Republican players back in the day, how many people would you have? The loss of the player, like the loss of the talented player from a literal city is what is kind of scary, because I've gone through and looked at it. The majority of your baseball players come from small cities in the South, the Midwest, or out there in California. Like these gigantic cities, very few and far between. And you're going to say, wait, John, Mike Trout's from Jersey. Well, do me a favor and go see what see what baseball team he played for during the summer. But I'm not going to get into that. So what I'm trying to say is that baseball has a lot of work. We watched the Long Gone Summer this last weekend. It was amazing. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. I don't know if we're going to have somebody who's going to come back and fix baseball after this debacle. And if they don't get it fixed, I'm going to cry. And yes, I will be the first to admit right now off the very top, they have what do we call this? They have now for the 12th time agreed almost in principle to a certain 60 now. It's now a 60-day.
Obviously, I'm still on the players' side in the whole
Yes,
thing.
I
but
am
But the owners, they said all the
60
good
games.
all the good players in the MLB go to Twitter and say name the time and place, and then the owners name the time and place, and they're like, but no, I want 10 more games.
Now, this is what I wanted.
It's becoming very annoying.
It's a joke.
Actually becoming very. It's been very annoying for quite a while now. Like it's ridiculous, man.
It is so ridiculous. And then
it's mind-numbing at this point, isn't it?
No, it's so mind-numbing. But this is what I want to mention and say to you. Do you want to know where I learned more about Major League Baseball than Buster Olney, Jeff Passan, Keith Farnsworth, all the people who are friends with me that are in this? Do you know where I literally learned the most? Twitch. Is that not messed up? Do you know who was on Twitch talking to me last night?
Who?
I can't say one person's name, but I'll say David Price. You had
Blake Snell's on there.
No, Blake was not on there.
He's
always
been known to be on
another
there.
Team. Yes, I did see that. I saw 64 Major League Baseball players' names that I recognized. Nolan Arenado. Saw my homie from who's the one that's always in trouble because he golfs so damn much, and he plays at the Mets, and he's so good. Oh, he drove me crazy. He was on there last night talking crazy. Damn it,
Pete Alonso.
No, I love Pete.
Wait, who?
You know the dude who used to hit home runs all that. Oh, I'm so mad at myself right now. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy, dude. Mets outfielder who is always always injured, and he loves
Conforto?
golf. No. No. Loves golf, and he's from the Dominican Republic. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember this.
Robinson Cano?
Hell no.
Who are you talking about, man?
You know what? It's going to come back to me. No, this is going to come back to me and hit me because I can see his face and how big he is. He played for the Dodgers to start his career, by the way. That should help some of at least our texters. And the fact that I can't remember his name makes me almost literally want to flat out cry because I thought I was a big baseball fan. And I literally actually talked to him last night, which was messed up because I don't speak very, very good Spanish. But what I'm trying to say is last night on Twitch, I was talking with, I have to admit this, like my brother is a Twitch guy. His friends, they're all up in there. And my brother has a friend who is very good friends with most of the Mississippi State pitchers. Now, I've sent a couple kids down to Mississippi State when I used to be a pitching coach. But it's just weird how this Twitch world is become like, do you remember that? Do you remember when athletes wanted to be rock stars and rock stars wanted to be athletes and movie stars wanted to be athletes and movie stars wanted to be rock stars? And it was like that whole, like that was that intertwining thing. Like, dude, I'm a pro ball player, but I want to be a rock star. Or I'm a rock star and I want to be a pro ball player. Or I'm a pro ball player and I want to be a movie star. Now you got pro ball players who want to be professional gamers.
Were you thinking of Cespedes?
Yoenis Cespedes. Holy bleeping hell. How could I forget him? Thank you, Dave.
I don't know, but continue.
Thank you. But yes, it was Cespedes. And so you see him, and you see all these people, and you see again, like David. Have you been on Twitch?
I've seen. I'm not on it, but I've seen it. Yes.
So you do know.
I know. I'm familiar with that platform.
Okay,
yes.
So do you know how to explain it to people who have never been on there?
It is a big congregation of a bunch of video gamers who stream what they're playing and talk, and they have a text line more or less that they respond to, and
yes, and
just
they talk. 27,000 people. I told you this earlier. Watched the I don't want to say his name, but a pitcher for the Cardinals. My brother
play
Parker,
Fortnite or Call of Duty.
Yes, they were playing Fortnite. No, and they dropped in, and there were 27,000 people watching that game.
And the questions that roll in are y'all going to play a season this year?
Oh, it was insane. No. At first, that only came from me. I was the jerk. People were like, "What are you talking about?" Like, literally, I was the a-hole on Twitch. Do you know that? Luckily, I was doing it for my brother's account. So they think he's an a-hole. But again, my point is there are so many people right now driving down the road who don't even know what Twitch is. Who I didn't know what Twitch was until yesterday. I didn't understand Twitch. But I learned that these guys who are on there, they have their headsets on. They're talking to normal people just like me and you. And again, I want to remind y'all so much. We forget that our pro athletes are still, yes, they're considered men, but they're overgrown children. Are they not, Gabe?
Well, I mean, what's an adult to you?
I'm not an adult yet. I'm a grandfather, and I don't think
overgrown children. I don't know. I don't even know how to.
I love life.
Respond to that.
What I'm trying to say is,
I'll say yes. Fine, they're overgrown children.
Yes, they're overgrown children. They're big. They're strong. They're rich. They're fast. But you know what? They haven't had to face. I think what I'm talking about is the real world adversities that you face in your life, like when your mortgage comes up and you don't know how you're paying it, or you get fired from a certain job. These men are eventually going to come into certain struggles. But my man, like there's a guy that I know, he's making $14,000 a year playing video games, and then he works a little part-time job, and it pays him like $17,000. I mean, he's almost making as much from his video game playing than he is from his little sorry job. You know what I mean? It's kind of that messes up my head. So that's what I'm trying to explain to people. There are so many people who do not get how much this world has changed. And if in 2020 you can't see with the protest, if you can't see with the Black Lives Matters, if you can't see that I've told you this is the year of the athlete. Chuba Hubbard was on First Take this morning. By the way, he was very, very, you could tell, toting a line. He wasn't honest until the very end, but he toted a line. But this is what I'm trying to say is athletes now have more power than they've ever had. But now athletes can talk to you via Facebook, via Twitter, or via something that nobody my age, or even now, I don't even think Gabe's age, but they're literally younger than Gabe. They are so much younger than my good friend Wolo in stats. Or, heck, Greg and Eli. Greg and Eli, do you think they know what the hell Twitch is?
They know what it is, but have they used it?
Have they ever used it? You know, I never used it until yesterday, and I didn't use it. I watched it. And by the way, I did try to play a game, and literally, they looked at me like they wanted to kill me. They were like, "You are such a loser. Like, you're so sorry." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not good at this game, but it has become real." And so what I'm going to tell you is Dr. Fauci, he's brought up some stuff about pro football. He's brought up stuff about this bubble. We're talking at 2 o'clock with Dan Favale about the NBA and their bubble and what they're going through. And then I want to ask all of y'all, do you really think that the NFL can play in a, quote, bubble or with these new, quote, face masks? And if you think so, cool. But explain to me how the hell is college football going to go off this year? With 13 players at Texas already testing positive. With 8 players at Kansas State. And this is just the top tip of this huge iceberg that's just laying up underneath the ground. And again, I want to remind you, I will not play guinea pigs with my children, my grandchildren, or young people. You want to play guinea pig with me or professionals? I don't mind that. But don't put it on high school kids. Don't put it on college kids. And don't put it on a workforce that literally is unpaid. And I don't give a damn what you say. Oh, they get a scholarship. No, they're a workforce that is unpaid. And yes, while the NCAA wants their billions, the university wants their billions, the coaches want their millions, tell me what it's going to give the young man. But an opportunity to catch COVID-19 and maybe never have full lung function for the rest of his life. And maybe his dream could be cut short because he got sick. And for me, that is despicable as an adult. I am ashamed to be an adult and have to say that I think, like, I will never say, as of today, college football, college sports for 2020, I'm going to tell you right now, they need to be canceled. You can hate me for it. You can say I'm a piece of whatever. But you want to know something? I care more about these young men and their future, and these young women and their future, and these young people and what they got to do to fix up everything y'all screwed up. I need them healthy, I need them smart, and I need them safe. And if you want to go ahead and put their life on the line, you go ahead and do it. I sure as hell am not. This is Sports 56, brought to you by my friend Chad Gatlin at Memphis Farmers. I'm going to tell you one thing. Chad is with me. He will take care of you, home, auto, life, whatever you can think of. MemphisFarmers.com. They have the power of farmers, but they have the ingenuity and geniusness of Chad Gatlin. My man is a Memphis-born, Memphis-bred, Memphis man till he's dead. He understands the COVID-19. He understands what's going on. He also understands that life insurance is through your work. And we have lost so many jobs and so many people. Go ahead and take care of that, because God forbid, we're all going to live. We're all going to die. Don't leave your family on shaky ground. Check out my friend at MemphisFarmers.com. I love Chad Gatlin. I respect him. And I will tell you this from the bottom of my heart. I believe in him, and I believe that he will take care of you. So give him a call at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. If you ever needed someone in your corner, I can't think of a better time than now. Check out my friend Chad Gatlin and go to MemphisFarmers.com. And whatever you do, don't look at the dial. We'll be right back. This is 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Oh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol Chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, clones, you've heard me talk about Walmart delivery before, but now Walmart has the fastest delivery service yet. Walmart Express Delivery. Get groceries and more delivered from their door to yours with no contact delivery in 2 hours or less. Zero markups. Same low price as in-store. Don't let work, kids, an at-home workout, or whatever else life throws at you right now get in the way of getting what you need when you need it. Try Walmart Express Delivery today. Restrictions and fees do apply.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Hey, it's me, your cousin, from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams, from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, 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 welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know how much I love you. It's Johnny Radio. You know my good friend Gabe Kuhn loves y'all. And you know that I'm not trying to put anybody in their tomb already. What I'm trying to do, though, is wake you up to, because I like to think of myself as a young man. I remember, I ain't going to lie to you, I taught at the University of Memphis, because you know when you teach at University of Memphis, this is a bad thing to say, but like dating people in in college is okay. You date somebody in high school, you go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a master's degree and you're teaching somebody who's in their master's program and they're 26 years, 27 years old, that's cool. This is what I'm trying to get to you is certain types of things that are certain, like you get to certain levels and you see things that you wouldn't ever see. Now, if I never taught at the University of Memphis, I would never know about that. But also, if I didn't go see my brother and his friends, I would not know that Twitch, this platform that I've never literally heard of until Sports 56 went on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, and for a small point, we went on Twitch. We took ourselves off of it, and the Twitch people were like, thank you, because we are a gaming situation. So I have learned a lot. The players don't want to be rock stars anymore. They don't want to be porn stars. Heck, they don't want to be movie stars. They want to be gamers, which is weird to me. Like, it is a different realm we live in. So I'm just trying to pass this along to you, that this is real, and that you young, like you parents or people who look at your children and talk to them, I just want you to be able to talk and have a level ground and understand where they're coming from. Like, could you imagine your child playing a game and 27,000 people are watching it, and he's playing with David Price or a pitcher from the Cardinals? Like, could you imagine realistically? And then he gets a check every couple months because so many people watch his games. Like, could you imagine being a parent and your son, who's like 23 years old, is getting paid more money for playing a video game than the job that he currently has? That is what I'm trying to say, is we live in a different world, and we have to wake up to the world we live in. COVID-19 has changed our world. Pro sports are changing. College sports are changing. And Dr. Fauci, Gabe, what the heck has he now told us?
He said that they need a bubble environment for the NFL to be played. But
is this possible?
No, hell no. Not even, there's no way. And there's people that want fans in the stands. I personally think, after seeing some of the numbers that have come out, no, you can't subject anyone to that at this point. You have to keep it as much of a bubble as possible. I do agree with that. But there's no way you can put 53 to 55 guys plus support staff plus coaching staff all together and put them working out of one area. It doesn't work like that. These are 120-yard long fields, too. So it's not even a realistic thought to have a full bubble. It's just not.
One quick thing I want to remind Gabe, and he mentioned this. Dr. Fauci talks about a bubble. And let's just say we made 4 bubbles, okay? Or hell, we made a bubble for each conference. That is still, just by players, 210 players. Not including coaching or personnel staff.
What about college?
This is where I wanted to get to. College, can I just tell you something? Keep trying. Texas, 13 people have COVID-19. K-State has 8. Amen, Memphis has 0. But you know what's coming down the road.
Houston
don't
has
you?
6. They had to stop workouts.
You know what? Can I ask you something? What right now? Does Texas look like hell? Zeke Elliott's got it. Dallas Cowboys got it. Texans got it. The University of Texas got it. Houston's got it. It feels like if you're in Texas, you're bleeped. The only thing that feels better about Oklahoma is you're not Mike Gundy. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I hope you know we're going NBA and we're going NBA deep with Dan Favale on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Eat well and stay healthy with Sweetgrass Next Door's to-go and delivery service. From shrimp and grits to pork chops to chocolate chip cookies and more, feed your need. Located in the heart of Cooper Young Midtown, Sweetgrass Next Door makes for an easy to-go, pickup, and delivers to all of Midtown, most of downtown, and even East Memphis locations. For more information, visit online sweetgrassmemphis.com or call 901-278-0278 to place your order today.
You get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
This is you getting snacks from the pantry. This is you getting snacks from the DQ 2 for $4 Super Snack Menu.
Wow!
And mixing and matching any 2 snacks, like the new lemonade Twisty Misty with a chili dog.
Uh-huh!
A cheeseburger with fries.
What?
Or even pretzel sticks with a sundae. The DQ 2 for $4 Super Snack Menu. 2 snacks, $4. Get your on. Look for drive-thru and takeout options at your DQ. DQ, happy tastes good.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina colada,
560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your hopefully best friend, John Harden. My best friend is Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. And I want to remind you, you should love him, Memphians. You should love him Mid-South. Now, Ole Miss fans, I know you might not love him because he had a pretty good record against y'all. But for most people in the Mid-South, Gabe Kuhn should be somebody that you love. Now, another person you should love and care about is my good friend Dan Favale. Now, I've talked with him for, feels like 7 years almost, about basketball. He was with the Bleacher Report when we started. He's now still with the Bleacher Report, but he's also deputy editor of NBA Math. He writes for everybody and their grandmother. And I want to remind you something. He said one time he got dapped by Sean Kemp. Now, COVID-19, I don't know if you want to dap Sean Kemp right now because you might have a baby, but we'll see. Who knows what's going down. But again, I want to tell you all something. My very good friend Dan Favale on Twitter, he's at, very simple, DAN Favale, Favale. So it's at DAN Favale. Check out my friend Dan Favale and read his work. And we are about to go deep in what's going on with the NBA, the world that is changing ever so fast. And I just want to get his feelings because I believe him, I trust him, and I know that this is a person who has compassion and character, and that's why I wanted to bring him on today. Dan, how is life treating you, my man?
I cannot complain relative to everything that's going on. How are you?
Dan, you know what, Dan? That's why I bring you on, because you know what? You always put it out there. It's true. How can you complain with everything that's going on? I don't know if you heard, and I doubt you did, because you're one of the busiest people I've ever met, and I just want to thank you so much for giving my audience a little bit of your time, because again, this is a man who is locked and loaded with the NBA and everything that's going down. We have a whole lot of stuff that's going on with the NBA. I have to also say, I hope you've heard about what Dr. Fauci said about Major League Baseball. I mean, the NFL and how they want to put the major NFL in a bubble as well. I almost hope you saw that. And if you did you laugh almost at that?
I don't know that I laughed, but just looking at how the NFL does business and just how many people are involved in the day-to-day operations for a team compared to the NBA, just looking at the roster differences, I can't even imagine what that bubble would end up looking like.
And by the way, you mentioned exactly what I wanted to mention. They're letting 39 personnel from each team. That means you have your team, that's their family, coaching staff. Only 39 people from each team can go in the bubble. Could you imagine a roster with 55 men on it, not including the coaching staff or secondary personnel, and trying to put them in a bubble? Makes absolutely no sense. But I didn't bring Dan on to talk about football. I can promise you that. I just was trying to make a point for my last segment. I want to ask you the honest-to-God truth, and I want to hear what you believe. Do you think, in all honesty, because I think that the NBA did a great job yesterday with what they came out with. Like, it makes sense to me. All of their precautions and all of their plans about, testing when they do, if you leave, how many days you have to be quarantined, all this stuff makes so much sense for me. But I want to ask you, does this make sense? Because now you have, again, Avery Bradley, Kyrie Irving, trying to go out there with the Players Coalition and get a few things done. LeBron hasn't jumped on board. I'm just wondering, from where you're sitting at, do you think we're actually going to be able to give somebody the Larry O'Brien Trophy at the end of the season? And do you think that we now have a new wedge in between the NBA players?
Well, so I think the first thing, if safety was the number one priority, the season would not be finishing. Just looking at the COVID numbers that are in the Florida area. Yeah. Right in the area they're going to play, the numbers keep going up, and they're talking about the risks involved for coaches and players and the extent they're going to try and the testing capacity, the contact tracing. The season wouldn't be happening if this was strictly about being safe. But looking at this through the terms of this was always what was going to try and happen. The players want to get paid. The team chairmen want to get paid. The teams want to make money.
Back to money.
The league wants to reinvest in itself. You go without finishing a season, without having a champion, and then go into next season with the uncertainty of not only COVID-19, but the teams ripping up the collective bargaining agreement and maybe having a lockout. You want to make sure that you can reinvest and sort of stabilize your future. And I think relative to that, the NBA's bubble, it does at least make sense. And a lot of epidemiologists have come out and said that, or at least a handful, and I wouldn't say applauded the NBA, but they have said this is among the safest ways to go about things. There are a few aspects of it that are just a little bit troubling to me, where you're looking at some of the Disney World employees. They won't be undergoing regular testing, even though they're leaving.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I mean, some will, and there will be some that live on campus. You go back and forth on it, because can you really ask these employees who aren't making anywhere near as much money as these NBA players to really have to be quarantined inside a campus? But at the same time, if they were going to leave, it would kind of be nice if you could at least get them tested as often as you were the NBA players. So I think everything the NBA has done relative to what we just know and have to be realist about, that this is about the money, this is about the league just continuing on no matter what, there's safety there. However, I do think there are valid discussions happening among Kyrie Irving, Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard, players who don't necessarily want to go to Orlando, in part because they want to use this time to really speak out and become active in the protests against police brutality, racial inequality.
Yes.
And I think it's fair that you take that stance. I also think it's fair if you're a LeBron James or if you're a Damian Lillard and you think that you can do more from your platform of actually going into the bubble where you know that there will be millions of eyes on you and that you can still impact and be a voice in this movement. That's also a fair stance. And so there's not really one right answer here. I think the most important thing to remember, even as we make jokes, even as we talk about, well, the season shouldn't be happening if safety is the number one concern, is this was all never going to be just about safety. It was going to be about finding a way to get the season finished. And I do think if you take that view, as slanted, as tainted as it sounds, I think the bubble in that context that the NBA has built, it seems like it's going to be pretty effective, or at least give them a path to finishing the season without causing an obscenely amount of harm to itself and its employees, its players, its coaches, etc.
Wow. My man Dan basically has broken down a lot of things that I've been talking about for the last week, and he did it in a lot better way than I could ever do it because he's just a great writer. Please always check him out again on Twitter at Dan Favale. Read his work at Bleacher Report, NBA Math. But Dan, you basically said some stuff that I just wanted to grab out of what you said that makes it almost feel like other sports are impossible. And I know you're a basketball guy, but if it's going to be this hard for the NBA, how hard is it going to be for high school sports? How hard is it going to be for pro football? We're talking about putting all these people in a bubble. Dr. Fauci came in today and said he wants to put pro football in a bubble. You cannot do that. So realistically, is the NBA the only chance that we have at a reprieve? And if this goes wrong, are we completely screwed?
I think the latter is probably the best way to put it, is that if this NBA bubble kind of falls apart, you would assume that many of the other major sports are going to be screwed as well. Look, many of the professional leagues, they're going to have the same resources as the NBA. But even look at some of the parameters of this bubble, that players, they can't have their friends and family or guests there until the second round or later of the playoffs. And when those guests do come, they're responsible for footing their hotel room bills. The league will pay for their food and their testing. If you go to leagues like the NHL, the MLB, the NFL, those leagues in themselves have the same type of resources, but the players might not be in this position to where they can put up their families for this long if you look at an NFL minimum salary. And so you are effectively then looking at the NFL season. You want all 17, 18 weeks of the actual season to take place in the bubble. That's not including the training camp, the playoffs, and all of that. You're going to be separating some of these guys from their families without the prospect of them really entering the bubble. And perhaps there are things you can do about that. But if you're going to look at the collegiate level or the high school level, how can you ask the players to follow the same steps as we're seeing a professional athlete when they don't have the same resources, when they don't have the same...
They don't get paid. Yeah, they don't have nothing. In fact, Dan, I'm going to tell you something. I want to tell everybody first and foremost out there, I respect this man so much. I reach out to him. I always give him an opportunity. He has an open platform. Anytime this young man wants to come in here, young man is a very nice thing to say, by the way. I think he is a young man. He's a very smart man. But anytime Dan wants to come in here and talk, the reason I just let him just come in here is because he always literally gives everybody just the flat-out truth. On my text line at 67129, I got people who are telling me that the COVID-19 is not real. I got people who are saying that, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to try to ever measure humanity on my text line or my Twitter. I do love people who text me, and I do love people who tweet at me. But that's just not a measure of humanity. But when you read so much pessimistic things, does it almost kind of get you down? And do you think that that kind of almost bleeds into some of these players' thoughts?
I think it has to. I mean, when you're reading all this coverage on COVID-19 and the news is so bad, it makes sports feel...
Secondary, thirdary, fourth, fifth, it's like way down the line, isn't it?
Right. And while I think everyone acknowledges the value of sports as an escape, there just seems something that's a little bit inhumane about expecting these players to put their well-beings at risk.
Their families in a bubble. Yeah.
And they're making the choice themselves. But at the end of the day, this is all a game. This is a sport. And if you can't guarantee that COVID-19 is not only under control, but that you have the capacity to respond to the positive test that you're going to get, it's really hard to just get fully on board with all this. I think the best way to probably put it is that the idea of the NBA or any other professional league restarting, it's very uneasy and it feels like a lot could go wrong. You're hoping it won't, and you are looking forward to watching these games unfold. But in the back of your mind, if not at the forefront of your mind, you have to be wondering is what is the potential for this to blow up in the league, let's say specifically the NBA space? What would it take for them to maybe not do the season if the numbers, if the data coming back still isn't that encouraging? What happens if they're not only dealing with a few positive tests within the bubble, but that it becomes this rampant sample size where because these players came into contact with one another and then those players came into contact with their teammates, that it sort of spreads like wildfire again? What do you do, and are you equipped to handle it? So I love basketball. If it's on, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to cover it.
Me too.
I'll be entertaining. But there's still just something that's uneasy about the idea of not just the NBA, but all sports going to such great lengths to start up when so much about what we're dealing with as a country is really unknown.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I always go back to this because I don't read too much other than Thomas, but if a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. I mean, basically, ignorance, if you just want to pass up what the doctors think and you just want to keep going, you're going to find something that you never, ever expected. And that's the one thing that fears me is we just try so hard to get back to normalcy. We're going to ignore virologists, biologists, all these people, and we're going to put ourselves in a worse predicament. And that's one thing that scares me from North Carolina, who's opening up their dorms early in college, to Texas having 13 players test positive. Kansas State has 8. I'm praying. I'm so grateful that University of Memphis had 0. But what I'm saying is that this does not look like it is going in the proper direction. And when you have Zeke Elliott at, Dallas, I mean, he's a very prominent pro football player testing positive. They won't tell you the other players that have tested positive on the Cowboys or the Texans. And again, you have another group at Houston. It feels like the middle of the country, who basically took this stuff very lightly, is now taking it in the keister. And this looks like it's going to end up hurting pro sports for the rest of the nation. And that is one of the very frustrating things. I don't want us to point fingers at who and what and when and where, but I will tell you one thing, and I want to ask you if I'm wrong or am I right. Is it unfair to put our children, high school kids, and our college kids who don't get paid as guinea pigs and on the front lines? Because right now I feel like that's what we're doing. Like basically June and July is nothing but young people who don't get paid. Go out there and let's see how this works.
Yeah, I wouldn't support that either. And so it's just, I know players, athletes, regardless of whether in high school, college, or in the pros, they have a choice in all this, but it's a lot harder to say no when you feel obligated or if you think your livelihood, let's say you're not getting paid now, but if sport is the way that you're hoping to get into college, or if you're in college and you think you're going to make a living doing sports, you're going to feel
trying to change your family's outlook on life or whatever. But the main thing that I wanted to get to is because you basically already answered my point. This is what I wanted to ask you though in the follow-up is, okay, so if we don't expect young people to do this, if we don't want to put our children at risk, if we don't want to do this, yes, basketball players make millions of dollars. We see LeBron James camp, we see Chris Paul's camp. Do we not see that there's a small bit of problem? And I understand that Kyrie and what he said was after he found out he couldn't be there. Kendrick Perkins has come out and lashed out against him like in a way that I did not expect. You have now a division in the National Basketball, Players Association that I never thought we would see. And as much clout as they've gained over the years, could COVID-19, this year's playoff, could it do irreparable damage to the future of the Players Association and Michelle Roberts?
I actually don't think it will end up doing that because it doesn't seem like it's contentious among the players. It seems that Kyrie Irving and Avery Bradley and Dwight Howard were kind of voicing an opinion that was held by, I'll say, a large minority of the NBA players who didn't necessarily feel comfortable speaking up. And
can I ask you something real quick? I want to interrupt you. The minority that spoke up, though, had all made over $150 million. Or, I looked at, the ones that, Dwight Howard's already made over $200 million. Like, all those players, they are very wealthy. And then I talked to a couple players, and it's like 80% of players live paycheck to paycheck. For them to come out there like this, like it's nothing, they felt like they were kind of pushed to the side and almost, again, that's what I'm trying to say is, we're watching it in MLB. Major League Baseball has done a great job of separating the top from the bottom in pro baseball. Are they doing this for the first time in basketball?
I still don't necessarily think so. If there might be division, I still think it has more to do with the voting model in itself, or if you remove just the stance that Dwight Howard and Kyrie Irving and Avery Bradley have taken, it seems like more players wanted to have just their tangible input, where you're not just dealing with representatives that were appointed for each team, but every player is voting on it. And the other thing to remember here is that it's not just about the protest against police brutality and racial inequality that they're thinking about. It's
not
you
at
don't
all.
want to find in that bubble. They want to have more freedom. There are some that are probably worried about catching COVID-19 in itself. And then there are other players like a Donovan Mitchell or Jason Tatum who are worried about.
Yeah, they have asthma, or this is what I wanted, the last but not least, because, by the way, I just want to say, again, Dan, you are the best. I appreciate you coming in. Your candor is just unbelievable. But I wanted to ask you this, because I know you're very well-read. You're very intelligent. You know this. They have said that there's up to, 15% of these people who get COVID-19 that lose almost 25 to 30% of their lung capacity. Now, if you're a professional athlete, how important is, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I know breathing air, and they say that by the time you're 60 years old, your lungs have lost about 30% of their capacity. Now, could you imagine just by getting sick, losing 30 in 6 weeks or whatever way you fight this disease? You won't be the same player, at least in my personal opinion. And the thing that scares me is you have people like Ohio State asking people to make sign legal waivers. Is the NBA thinking about doing those type of things as well?
It does seem like it's I actually haven't read much about that for the players, which is interesting, but it doesn't seem like they're prepared to do that for coaches and staff members, particularly if we're talking about some of the elder head coaches and assistant coaches who would be considered at high risk, not just because of their health conditions, although for some of them that might be the case, but for their just for their age in general. When you're talking about players, I mean, you bring up a good point because James Harden has asthma. It's not something that readily affects his play, but are you, as the NBA, liable at all, or is he signing a waiver that if he's going into the bubble, that's his choice? And so that's where all of this stuff gets really thorny is, yes, you're giving players a choice, but there are long-term repercussions that a lot of people, players, the league itself, just probably aren't considering. And that's why, if the NBA bubble is going to happen, it seems like it's going to be a huge barometer for professional sports in general, because if it works, I think it gives us hope that sports can resume in some form, relatively, I don't want to say risk-free, but with minimal risk, let's say. But if it fails, you have to deal with not only the fallout of its failure, but then what it means for not just the NBA's future, but all of pro sports.
Yeah, and that's the key is it's all the pro sports. Major League Baseball has been such a letdown this year. Everybody is now looking to the National Basketball Association and to try to pick up this country and try to piece us almost together, which is very damn unfair in my opinion. WNBA has done a great job. Come out and talked about how they're going to do a 22-game regular season, pay their players full rated salary, even those who are at high risk. Like, I've been just so proud of what the WNBA has done. But again, you got to look at it on a a macro level. The amount of money that you actually have to spend on them compared to the National Basketball Association, it's totally different. So I understand all this stuff. I completely get it. But I want to ask my man, Dan Favale, I don't know if you're going, but I want to ask you, if they said, hey, Dan, go cover this, would you lock yourself up in that bubble?
I absolutely would not. Maybe if I'm making.
Have you been asked?
I have not been asked as of this moment, but I don't know which media are going to be able to go anyway, and it's obviously different for athletes who are making a boatload more money than I am. But I think the idea of it just being away from your family for so long, and just being quarantined, it's really harrowing. And I understand for the players a little bit.
Dude,
different.
I can hear in your voice, you don't want to do it. Like, I can tell that, it's scary.
Yeah, and I think, for the players specifically, even though they're given the choice, even though they're maybe doing something that they love and they really want to play basketball again, I think throw everything else aside, all the other factors, what is being asked or expected of them is just so far above and beyond what a lot of people are considering or would be willing to go through themselves. And I don't necessarily think the amount of money they make, the generational wealth that they're trying to establish, I don't think that should make the decision any easier or downplay the gravity of what they're actually accepting should all these players decide to go into quarantine and play inside this Disney bubble.
Now, last but not least, because I got to say goodbye to my very good friend, Dan Favale, and I'm sure he's like, damn, you kept me way too long. He's going to punch me one day. I know this. Dan, I love you to death. At Dan Favale, check him out on Twitter, Bleacher Report, NBA Math. He's the best in the business. But I got to know one thing. Is best for the game and what's best for the country, is that the right question? Because I've always been saying this. If we had somebody in these, instead of it just being about money with the Major League Baseball Association and the MLB, if it wasn't just this with the NBA, and now it's become into the Players Association. But what I'm saying is what's best for the game and country, is that a relevant question right now to truly be asking?
Yeah, and without question. And I think probably one of the biggest issues here is that we have not approached this, regardless of where you stand on how this should have been handled. Once COVID-19 became this serious issue, it has not been handled with any uniformity or just any union or synergy in general. And so that's a big part of the issue here. And while it's fair to wonder if having sports back will really just help people's mental state of minds, which, again, I think that's absolutely fair. I think you also have to wonder if bringing sports back almost makes it seem as if we're too close to
being
a
okay.
safe norm. Yeah, or just too close to a safe normal where you don't want to give the idea that the country's in better shape than it actually is. and there's the chance that could actually happen. And then again, as you've already talked about, what if the bubble just fails? You're dealing with a whole new set of fallout, not just in sports, but what does that say if we can't even protect people within a bubble with millionaires and billionaires who help set it up? What does that mean for the rest of the country? So I do think it's an absolutely fair question to ask.
It could be a dream. It could be a nightmare. But I'll tell you one thing. If you love the NBA, follow my good friend at Dan Favale. If you like just really good sports, and I know we're not having box scores. I know we're not seeing them on television as much. But if you want to know what the baseball player, the basketball player, the football player, the writers are thinking, check out the Bleacher Report. Also, if you're a big old NBA geek like me, NBA Math. He's deputy editor. He is Dan Favale. And by the way, Dan, thank you so much for giving me your time. And I know I took way too much of it, but man, I tell you one thing, my listeners appreciate it more than anything.
Most definitely. Thank you as always for having me, John. Take care.
Take care, Dan. What a great guy. And again, one of the best writers there are in the business. And he's very personable. He's hard to get in touch with. I can talk to him a hell of a lot more on the telephone than I can on the radio. And I know I annoy the bleep out of him because he's even texted me, "Yo, you text me more than my boss." So I know I am somewhat annoying, but I do have to say I love him and I appreciate him. And he did come on here to tell you the truth. And the game that we love so much in basketball, or the game that we love so much in football, or the game that we love so much in baseball, these are different times. We have got to stop pretending that they're not. We have got to stop pretending that it's just a money issue. This is, there are real people with real fears, and there are people with families. And again, I just want to remind you that. Anyway, I love every one of you. I hope you don't dare think about touching that dial. And I want you to always remember one thing. MemphisFarmers.com on Sports 56, 96.1, and Hardwood's next on 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
Our world has changed. When you venture out of your home, face coverings are the new normal. But the kind you use really matters because not all offer the same protection, and we all want the best protection from dangerous particles and bacteria. A highly recommended consumer covering is the Boomer Naturals 30-day, 30-use protective face cover in sizes for adults and children. It's made with 3 cloth layers infused with nano silver technology. It can reduce particles getting to your nose and mouth. Many studies show how effective nano silver technology is with face coverings. It's also very comfortable, easy to breathe and speak with, and it's made for breathable protection, even for those with sensitive skin. These are in stock right now and shipped to you from Boomer US Warehouse. These face covers can be used up to 30 days, just hand wash with soap and water at the end of each day of use. Boomer makes these very affordable at less than 30 cents per day. So get face coverings right now for the entire family. Order today at boomernaturals.com. Use the code ROME20 at checkout and save 20%. Get free shipping and handling when you spend $50. That's boomernaturals.com. Promo code ROME20, your source for in-stock face covers.
Ready to take on that painting project? Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94 June 19th through 30th. With 30% off our exceptional paints and stains, you can give some color love to your bathroom, living room, or every room in your home. Shop in store or order online for curbside pickup. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, it's me, your cousin, from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams, from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Yeah, everybody's a little bit sad. I'm so sorry. I usually try to get you up. I'm not talking about like yayo up or whatever up. I'm just trying to make you happy. This is Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your very good friend, Johnny Radio. Y'all know Gabe Kuhn, and y'all know that we are on in this beautiful studio, which is the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. And by the way, pools are happening. Check it out. Go to Family Leisure. You can get one starting at $15.99. You don't have to worry about COVID-19. You don't have to go to share a pool. You got your own in your backyard, baby. Check out Family Leisure, because Family Leisure, that's where family and fun come together. Now, I have talked with my good friend Dan Favalli. I have talked this week in link with my great friend Gabe Kuhn. We have talked with people on the text line. We've talked with Bill. We've talked with everybody. Hey, baseball, they're actually trying to lie to us right now, I think. They're trying to say to hey, we got a 60-game season that we're planning on, and everything is hunky-dory. Can I tell you something? I think baseball is so full of it, I don't even know what to believe. Gabe Kuhn, would you, as a person who followed it like me, maybe you are a person who kind of stays a little bit farther from it, would you believe anything that baseball's saying right now?
No.
Okay. Thank God that was an easy
Is that
answer.
easy? Is that easy enough?
It was that's all
Well,
I
it's just because, like, what do you know? Like, nothing has gone according to plan
Not
yet,
one.
so I don't know why you should. Every time they come up with a new proposal, people get this, like, hope, and it's like the hope just gets squished within 24 hours usually.
Exactly. Now, I agree with him unequivocally. Baseball has broken my heart. But I have some baseball news about a Boston Red Sox pitcher. Told you about my buddy Luke Little, who throws 105 miles an hour. He's 6'8" and left-handed. But I got all kinds of stuff. Plus, I got Ole Miss news. And guess what we're about to do? My favorite segment in the world, Hardwood. But before I do that, I have to remind you one thing. You don't get hardwood without calling my buddy Bill Bell. You know why? Because if life is slapping you upside the head, if tenants are ignoring the bleep out of you, if you can't get them to pay your rent, why be a landlord? Why deal with all this? If you're living in a house with your grandmother, maybe she's gone and you're just living in this huge house and you're wondering how you're going to pay this rent, why? all these things in life happen. Or if you're like the Jeffersons and you're just moving on up, let me tell you a secret. You can't buy your next house till you sell the house that you're in. Unless you're just super buku rich. But right now, I don't know anybody buku rich because everybody's struggling. So here's what I'm trying to tell you is 901-406-1101. Just seriously grab a pen. 901-406-1101. That's 901-4. What is it, Gabe? 901-406 what?
1101.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Gabe is not even over there. He's texting probably his girlfriend. Who knows? I hope it's his girlfriend. But he's over there not even paying attention. And he knows Bill and I buy houses. I want you to know that number like it's the back of your hand. I just want, in case anything happens in your life, to never ever have to think. Because I'm telling you, 12 years ago, I cried. Went to my next door neighbor and he gave me Bill's number. If I didn't have my neighbor, Ron, thank you, Ron. If he didn't give me Bill's number, I wouldn't be on the radio. So everybody do me a favor. Write it down, 901-406-1101. Sing it with me, 901-406-1101. And call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. And let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about on a Friday's Eve.
Real quick, though, did you see the Belk Bowl?
What? No.
The Charlotte? The one in Charlotte?
No.
You know what they changed the name to?
Belk Bowl?
You like mayo?
Please don't.
Do you like mayo?
No, I can't. Dude, I don't eat white stuff. Like, if it's on, don't even get...
But anyway,
no.
They renamed the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, which is in Bank of America Stadium, the Panther Stadium. They renamed it to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
I'm going to vomit.
Hey, I like mayo, man. Duke's isn't horrible, but Hellman's is better. Hellman's mayo's better.
Can I tell you a little secret? I can't put, like, if mayo's on my sandwich, it's okay. Just don't tell me.
You like vanilla ice cream?
I love vanilla ice cream.
So you do like white stuff.
It's different, homie. Bluebell is different than mayonnaise. And I think you'll figure that one out.
What about Miracle Whip? You a Miracle Whip guy?
No, I hate
You can't have mayo on anything.
I hate Miracle Whip.
What about that one day I brought you in that chicken sandwich from Popeyes? There was mayo on that.
No. Again, if it's on there, I could have it. I can't put it on myself. Like, I am not that.
Just like you can't cook chicken by
yourself. I can't touch chicken. I can't touch mayonnaise. I'm weird.
You're a weird guy, man. You're a weird guy.
I can touch a lot of stuff. If it's sticky, icky, I can roll up one with my left hand. I can roll a spliff with one hand while I'm driving, homie. So don't get. You know what? There's certain things I can't do, but there's certain things that I can do. Now, I'll also tell you something that I can do, and that's tell you about Noah Song. Yes, have you heard about this guy?
Noah Song.
Yes. He is I would call him an American hero, actually. He has not done anything yet heroic, but this is a guy who was drafted by the Boston Red Sox. Do you know what happened just today?
No.
Navy recalled him. He played at the Navy. They recalled him and said, it's time for you to report on June 26th to Pensacola, Florida to finish your flight school. And he's going to be a Navy pilot for a year. And then he'll come back to, to go after his dream. But can I tell you something? In all honesty, like, this is probably the nicest thing the Navy, and like, people are forgetting about what I'm about to say. Do you know why the Navy's doing this? Because they believe that there's no chance that, like he's not going to be there. So I was reading this, and I'm not, like, this is not something that's supposed to be normal news. Because there's no way the U.S. Navy would say this, or a general. But you know what they said? They looked at it, and they know this man has to finish out his... you have to do your tour, okay? You don't go to college.
You do.
You have to, okay? I'm not trying to, this
But
is
usually with pro sports, you get an exception until after that pro sport's done.
And Gabe knows.
I have a buddy who went to Army.
You have Navy or Army. Yeah, you play Navy every year, and you had a buddy that went to Army. So you know. But you know what they decided? They were like, hey, COVID-19 has really messed everything up. Things aren't going that well. But right now, you can serve your country. And they asked Noah Song to come do this. And by the way, the coolest thing is, they didn't demand it either. That's what I always thought the Navy would just say, you be here, you do this, do it now. You know what I mean? They said, hey, Noah, you have another year on service. COVID-19 is going down. Do you think this is a good time? You know what Noah says? damn right it's a good time. He will report on June 26th. He will be flying for the U.S. Navy for the next year. And again, he's a minor league pitcher who just got drafted for the Red Sox, played in Navy. But these are the kinds of things that I just want to say is, you know what, if you actually talk to people and, like, treat people with respect, you can find a happy medium.
That's a way better story than the Mayonnaise Bowl.
Sure is, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that a good story, though? Like, I'm proud
Very.
of Noah. Like, and I'm also, can I say something? And a lot of people, I don't give it, like, listen, I am very proud of being an American. I'm proud of our armed forces. I love the American flag, and I love people. I also understand that Black Lives Matter more than anybody else because my grandson and what he's faced and some of the stuff that the last couple of weeks have just brought me to tears and on my knees. But what I'm just basically saying is a lot of us have been blinded for many, many years over certain type of things. But when you see two people simply, or two organizations like the Red Sox and the U.S. Navy, you see a guy like Noah who went to the Navy, and then you see, like, you know, them talking to each other, and they do what's best. Isn't it amazing what you can do when you talk to each other? Like, I don't know, man. I just wish people would start talking.
Communication
to each other.
works.
Communication works. Speaking of communication, is it time for the Big 12? And I know they only have 10, and it drives me bananas calling them the Big 12. But is it time for the Big 12 to say we need to come back in a month? I'm sorry, with what happened at Kansas State, the new news out of Texas. I went and looked at some stuff at Iowa State. There's some reports that are kind of leaking from certain people. The COVID-19 in the Midwest seems like it's coming, and it's coming hard. Should the Big 12 literally say we need to push back this, voluntary workouts need to be canceled, we all need to quarantine?
Well, I think based on the fact that you have between Texas and
you have
Kansas
31
State
players right now
between
in the Big 12 that are there are two schools.
Between Texas and Kansas State, you have what, 21?
And you have 10
So
unnamed sources.
And then you have also the guys that have been exposed to it that have to quarantine.
Correct.
So I'm not saying they should necessarily do something as far as the season goes, push back, but I think they need to stop voluntary workouts for right now, at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Like Houston did it. Houston had 6 positive tests and immediately shut down the whole program.
AAC,
Makes
baby.
sense. It makes
AAC.
sense. It makes sense. You can't keep putting guys out there.
By the way, Memphis,
putting them in harm's way.
0 have tested positive. Everybody's been negative so far. But
Also at Tennessee, 0
Tennessee.
positive tests.
But this is what I'm going to say is, as well we've done in the state of Tennessee, it only takes, and this is what I was going to say to you, you go to Houston, you're a football player. Do you think your mom and dad would worry if they saw that your next opponent was Houston and you had to go down to Texas right now?
Right. I don't know. And then think about the states where if you're in a state that does not allow fans and you're traveling to a state that does allow fans, right? There's a lot of things going on, and I'm pessimistic, to be honest. I'm just curious how this is going to shake out. I mean, we have time. We do have a certain luxury of time. We don't have a big amount of time. We don't have a surplus. But I think there's some things they can figure out between now and then. I
just think right now the most important thing that we do as a nation is protect our young people. We have already screwed our young people in such a bad way, and I hope you're hearing me, because again, I can go back to tell you Teddy Roosevelt, George Washington, all these guys, they used to say that the measure of a man and the measure of a country is if you can look in the mirror honestly at a certain age and say that you left this country better for your children than you left for yourself, then you've done a good job. And when you look at $1.5 trillion in student debt, when you look at the housing prices, when you look at social injustice, when you look at all these things, I don't know if you can literally say that. But you know what you can say? Hey, when we had a global pandemic, instead of putting our children out there who don't make anything and making them guinea pigs, we actually cared about people and we loved them and we protected these young people who, again, like Gabe will tell you, they are strong, they are fast, they are athletes, that I've never even dreamed about being. And I was an athlete, but I'm not an athlete like today's kid. Like, they are better than I ever dreamed of being.
They're all that, but they're not invincible.
More. But you know what? That's right. They're not invincible. And COVID-19, it doesn't care how healthy you are or what your age is. So again, I don't want to put our children out there. I appreciate those who are trying to protect them. And I'm going to talk with Fayette Ware's high school coach next week. He has something that he wants to say, and he's a football coach. And he just thinks that, right now, it's time to care about your kids, maybe more so than everything. Does the United States and the world need pro sports? Yes. Can we put NBA in a bubble? Yes. Will it mean a lot? Damn right it will be. And if we can get it to go off, it will be awesome. But I will tell you, I got one more Hardwood story on the other side. And it has to do with my good buddy Mickey Mantle. And I'm a baseball junkie. And what Mickey Mantle is having auctioned off right now reminds me of DARE. Have you ever heard of DARE?
I had to take DARE.
Drug Abuse Resistant Education?
Yep.
Did you know that's the first time I've ever seen marijuana, LSD, cocaine, all those drugs? And all we wanted to do was steal that damn that briefcase. Like, I'm sorry.
Remember when they put did you ever have to do the drunk goggles?
No, I didn't ever do that. We didn't have
They
that
had drunk goggles where it's like, oh, this is a .08, and you'd like put the goggles on, it'd be skewed
like try
vision.
To drive or something.
You try to walk a straight line.
Dude,
funny stuff.
I got the funniest story on the other side about my very good people at Mickey Mantle. I love all those people, and it's going to be funny. But I wouldn't touch that dial because we're coming back on Sports 56, MemphisFarmers.com. Why you love my buddy Chad Gatlin, because he's a baller shot caller, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
So, have you noticed how everyone's grammar is completely awful now? Like, the texting and the LOLs. Whatever happened to punctuation? I mean, drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Great news, sports fans. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse is now open for dine-in service. Make a reservation and enjoy a mouth-watering steak dinner. Or, if you prefer, take it curbside. In addition to their fantastic steaks, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has a variety of entrees, including Canadian lobster tail, crab-stuffed shrimp, pan-seared red snapper, and fresh ground steak burger with portobello mushroom sauce. Planning to cook out? The Butcher Shop Steakhouse offers a great selection of hand-cut fresh steaks, lamb chops, Atlantic salmon, and more. Father's Day is coming soon, so make your reservation for dine-in or pre-order for curbside pickup. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, dine-in, curbside, and delivery. Call us at 757-4244 and visit our website, thebutchershop.com, for menus and more. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, Walnut Grove and Germantown Parkway.
It's becoming a new habit since I got my RecTech grill. Picking up my smartphone, opening the app, and controlling my RecTech grill remotely from anywhere. You'll like the habit too. Cooking and smoking at the touch of your finger with a grill that uses 100% real wood. So simple, really cool because it does most of the work on its own without me. Just a few reasons why I love my RecTech grill. Built like a tank, 80 pounds heavier than the leading competitors. We've all been spending more quality time with family. Why not invest in something that is great for them and great for you? It is a game changer. Summer's here. Great times around the grill. Why not get yourself a RecTech grill? RecTech, far and away, the best bang for your buck. RecTech, built by grillers for grillers. Go to their website at rectechgrills.com. That's RECTEC Grills with an S.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know who I am, Johnny Radio. You know my good friend Gabe Kuhn. And you know Wolo and Stats are going to drive you home. And I've always said this. Wolo and Brett Norsworthy. Dave Woloshin, the voice of the Tigers. Brett Norsworthy, we call him Stats because his brain's like a computer. These two men have wisdom. They're going to lay it on you. I am more of a person who just tries to come to you and lay out what I think, what I see, and what is real and what I feel. I'm not a doctor. I am what I would call a person of the people, and I love all of y'all. Greg and Eli, they've been around, longer. Listen with Peter and CJ. My show is a little bit different, but this is the first time I've ever said I try to have fun. I try to make jokes about Mark Grace not taking steroids because he's scared of shrinkage just like me. But I will say, when 13 players at Texas and 8 players at Kansas State, and you found out that Zeke Elliott, and you hear all these players, and, because of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, and I'm not trying to take anything light, because injustice, when it becomes law, it is our duty to stand up. But the coronavirus did not disappear. And Dr. Fauci has even come out and said the one sport that we've always said, we go back to March, May. Dude, Memphis in May is canceled. The Southern Heritage Classic is canceled. All these things are done for the year. Hey, we got the Belmont this weekend. Does anybody talk about it or care? Things have changed. We got the U.S. Open up in New York. No fans. What I'm saying is sports realistically have changed. But the thing is, we have to stop pretending like we're living in a different world where we can put everybody in a bubble. We realistically have to stop complaining and pointing fingers at each other, or pointing fingers at doctors or senators or presidents or Republicans or Democrats or anybody that you don't agree with or disagree with. You have to start looking honestly about what's going on in this country. And realistically, I went to Kroger today. Did I tell you about this, Gabe?
Yes.
You know where I got this mask?
Everybody's wearing masks now.
You cannot.
There's a mandate.
It's a mandate. I have a mask in my car. I carry it everywhere with me, but I have found out in the last few weeks, like when I put it on, I feel like people were like scared of me or something. I walked up to Kroger. They took my temperature. They put a mask on me for free and told me next week that they won't be giving masks. And if you don't bring your mask, you won't be allowed in. And of course, if you have a temperature, they won't allow you in. So I'm just trying to say to you is, as much as you want to put your hand in the sand like an ostrich, if you just pull your head out of the sand and look what the hell's going around in your own community, then you can realistically see what's going around in the country and imagine what it's like, all the way from Florida to Washington, from New York to California, and everywhere in between. It is not easy. It's not peaceful either. But I will tell you something that's also interesting. Now, because I love y'all and I want to get off on a good note, Wolo and Stats are coming up next. And remember, I literally love y'all. And I love Mickey Mantle. Did y'all see this? Mickey Mantle has a handwritten letter telling the children, don't do alcohol and drugs. Do you know why he tells them that, Gabe? Because it messed him up pretty bad, basically. So Mantle wrote to everyone. So to everyone out there, especially young people, little leaguers, etc., don't end up over the hill before you even started to climb it. Make us proud. Don't do drugs and alcohol like I did. That's being sold right now, and the auction price is $4,076. So if you got some more money and you want that, hit them up. Coming up next, Wolo and Stats for me and Gabe. Get out there, make the world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace!